Yeah, crack.
All right,
Goddamn,
well,
how
keep
long it gonna
going,
take you
keep
to roll a
going.
blunt?
I done already hit that shit. I'm already smoking. Hold on now. Y'all ready?
Oh,
Nigga,
he's
I
smoking
fell
it. He
asleep
wants
in your
he wants to
ass.
smoke it
Okay.
first.
Yeah,
I
go on
thought he
and
said
bust
he
they
wanted to smoke it
go on and bust they
I'm finna
shit to the
bust
white
y'all
man.
ass up. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, man. This here, man, presentation, man, is called When the Hate Don't Work, they start telling lies.
That's
The
right.
Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, the most notorious liar in the country.
The
Let's
most
go.
notorious liar in the country.
The most notorious liar in the country. Let's get it. Free the land. Free the people.
What?
Free the land. Free the people. Black power. The only way we're gonna see liberation in this shit is through the Black Liberation Army. And that's through black power. Let's go. This how you Negroes sound, making shit up about MLK. Right here. You see this? Can y'all see it?
Yeah, look like spell checks and grammatical error corrections. Like,
Can you see that?
you gotta zoom in on the paragraph. We can't see it like that.
I'm gonna make it bigger. Hold on. I'm gonna make it bigger. Can you see that shit now?
Yeah,
Okay.
but you have to read it off, brother.
Okay. This that scene of Coming to America in the barbershop when the nigga said he met Dr. King. He say, I met Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once, and the nigga he talking to say, you lying. You ain't never met Dr. Martin Luther King. And the nigga said, yeah, I met Dr. Martin Luther King in 1962 in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm walking down the street, minding my own business, just walking on, feeling good. I walk around the corner. A man walk up, hit me in my chest, right? I fall on the ground, right? And I look up, and it's Dr. Martin Luther King. I said, Dr. King. And he said, oops, I thought you was somebody else. The other dude said, oh man, you lying. You ain't never met Martin Luther the King. Knocked the wind right out of me. Yes, he did. The nigga said, no, he didn't. He said, yes, he did. So this how you niggas sound, just making shit up about Dr. King. You know what I'm saying right here? Just like this movie scene right here, a script. That's how you niggas sound. Just saying any goddamn thing about Dr. Martin Luther King. Hold on. Let's go.
So,
Let's keep going.
so what have anybody learned in the first three slides?
Shut the fuck up. Let me go in.
He cooking
As I
right now.
proceed.
He's cooking.
Lucky, you
As I
know that nigga is
proceed.
okay.
My nigga is
As I
cooking.
The
proceed,
water is
Jay.
still cold, Lucky. The water is
He
still
changed
cold.
Exhibit A. He changed his name. Let's keep going. Let's go.
You need slideshow, brother.
I wasn't even five. I wasn't even five.
That's
This is what
you.
y'all said. Y'all said he changed his name from Michael to Martin. I wasn't even five. Hold on. Listen, here we have right here Michael Senior and Michael Junior. Martin. In 1934, King Sr. traveled to Germany to attend a World Baptist Alliance meeting. And while there, he learned about Martin Luther in the Protestant Reformation. Upon the return to the United
Protestant.
States, he officially changed his name in the name of his son from Michael to Martin. Here we have a birth certificate. I mean not a birth certificate, but I guess a certificate with the name change on it. We have the certificate right here from Michael to Martin. As you can see, full name of the child up here, Michael King, and it's changed to Martin Luther King Jr. right there. And this is dad right there, Martin Luther King.
Just the
see that,
death
dummy?
certificate.
You see that, dumb? Okay, so the name change. This is the name change. He wasn't even 5. He wasn't even 5. Hold on, okay. Let's go back on that. Damn. Shit. So we done dealt with the name change. So that him changing his name, being a cooperative agent or some shit y'all was trying to infer to or try to point to that he was an agent. He changed his name and he ain't came from here and all this old shit. Yes, he did. His dad just was a motherfucker. His dad was just prominent. His dad was a genius when it come down to that word. You know, and he went overseas and shit, and he was inspired. He came back and changed him and his son's name. That's it. Okay, we're moving right along. Exhibit B. Martin Luther King is an agent. Damn, I done moved this bitch. Martin Luther King is an agent. FBI, CIA,
Hold on,
DEA,
Dirty Ice.
informant, etc.
Hold on, Dirty
I'm
Ice.
so confused.
Is everybody feeling this? Is everybody feeling Dirty Ice's
Hey,
presentation so
please
far?
let him finish. I came in at the right time. Please
I
let him
got
Yes,
you. I
finish.
got you. Hold on, nigga. I'm saying, is everybody feeling the presentation? Everybody say
Hey,
yeah,
we ain't
nigga.
gonna
Everybody,
sneak this.
yeah,
Nah,
it's
let nigga finish.
comedy, but he ain't
Hey,
proved
let my
nothing
nigga
yet.
finish. Let my
I let
nigga
him go. Keep cooking. Yeah, keep cooking. Go ahead. You got to keep. Go
I'll
ahead.
let you in.
I didn't see a
Let
third
me
grader put
let me get
together a
it. Let me
better.
get into it. Exhibit B. Martin Luther King is an agent. FBI, CIA, DEA, informant, etc. Here we got J. Edward Hoover. Look at his ass, right? Look at him. Probably on the phone right now, violating somebody's Fourth Amendment right. J. Edward Hoover called the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King a communist, a top alley cat, a threat to national security, and the most notorious liar in the country. That's J. Edward Hoover. Here's a news clipping where J. Edward did an interview and he said these things about Martin Luther King. Okay. Here we have the counterintelligence program, Black Nationalist Hate Group into Eternal Security, the COINTEL Pro program, right? The U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation began monitoring Martin Luther King Jr. in December 1955 during his involvement with the Montgomery bus boycott and engaged in covert operations against him. Throughout the 1960s, FBI Director J. Edward Hoover was personally hostile toward King, believing that the civil rights leader was influenced by communists. The animosity increased after April 1964 when King called the FBI completely ineffectual in resolving the continued mayhem and brutality inflicted upon the Negro in the Deep South. This was April 23rd, 1964. It said under the FBI's domestic counterintelligence program, King was subjected to various kinds of FBI surveillance that produced alleged evidence of extramarital affairs, though no evidence of communist influence. Do you know what they saying right here?
No.
They saying that they monitored King from 55 to 64 and they ain't find a goddamn thing with him being no goddamn communist.
Him being a communist, but not all them other things you listed earlier.
1954 5 to 64. They began monitoring him because they said he was a communist. They found out he wasn't a goddamn communist and went to China to record some other shit since they couldn't get that. So let's keep going.
You the only person in world history that
Moving
lost
right
to
along,
themselves in
like
a
I
debate.
said.
That's crazy.
Moving right along. Here's some more shit. Here's some more shit with their ass, goddamn it, being devious, being white devils.
Deviant.
This is the COINTEL project paperwork that they sent down through the Fed. Prevent the coalition of militant black nationalist groups in unity their strength. Let me see what they worded. A truce that is no less valid for all its triteness. An effective coalition of black nationalist groups might be the first step towards a real
You said
Maoism in America.
triteness?
The
Man,
beginning
let
of
him
a
get it, man.
true
Let
black
him get
revolution.
it. Meet your mic, nigga. Let him get it.
And then, and right here at 2, it say, prevent the rise of the Messiah, who could unify and electrify the militant black nationalist movement. Malcolm X might have been such a Messiah. He is the martyr of the movement today. Martin Luther King, Stokely Carmichael, and Elijah Muhammad all aspire to this position. Elijah Muhammad is less of a threat because of his age. King could be a very real contender for this position should he abandon his supposed obedience to white liberal doctrines, nonviolence, and embrace black nationalism. Carmichael has the necessary charisma to be a real threat in this way. Okay, this is what they saying about the black man. They want to prevent his ass from having any kind of influence or any kind of power because they know he's the chosen one. Moving right along. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. received the Nobel Peace Prize from Gunnar John, the president of the Norwegian Nobel Committee in Oslo on December 10, 1964, recognizing his nonviolent fight for civil rights. The award was given by the Norwegian Nobel Committee, with John presenting the medal and diploma on behalf of the organization. I want to put forth a serious question. Can an agent of chaos receive the Nobel Peace Prize at 36 for non-violent protests and be labeled the most dangerous Negro in America? Here we have Dr. Martin Luther King receiving the Nobel Peace Prize. Okay. Here's a newspaper clipping with J. Edgar Hoover calling Dr. King the most notorious liar in the country. Let's get into a little bit of it. Okay, Washington FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover said yesterday that the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was the most notorious liar in the country, but claiming FBI agents in Albany, Georgia would take no action on civil rights complaints because they are Southerners. Carol Rivers, Washington correspondent of San Juan Puerto Rican newspaper El Mundo reported that Mr. Hoover made the statement in a group interview with 20 women reporters who arranged periodic meetings with the Washington officials. Y'all bear with me. UPI confirmed independently that the FBI director was quoted accurately. One source said Mr. Hoover had these things on his chest for a long time and felt this was a time as any to say something. So this nigga mad. This motherfucking me, devil mad at Dr. Martin Luther King for receiving a goddamn Nobel Peace Prize. So he want to go on a slander campaign and say this man is a goddamn lie. Here's another newspaper clipping with him spreading propaganda. They trying to lie on the king, and he got some blowback. He got some blowback for that shit, for disrespecting the king. It say FBI. It say called Nobel Peace Prize winner a notorious liar. FBI's Hoover blasted for the attack on Dr. King. This is a newspaper clipping. This is real deal Holyfield. Okay, this is a memorandum right here. In this August 30, 1963 memo, the head of the Domestic Intelligence Division, William Sullivan, does a bureaucratic backflip to appease Hoover. Sullivan later testified to congressional investigators that he and the men of his unit revised their findings to avoid being transferred or fired. To be in trouble with Mr. Hoover was a serious matter. Sullivan said in his memo, King is described as the most notorious Negro of the future in this nation from the standpoint of communism. You see this right here? This is a memo right here. You can go back and look at it and read it if y'all want to. But all he doing is trying to turn the people against Dr. Martin Luther King. And I say he done did a pretty good job in his death with turning the black folks against Dr. Martin Luther King. All right, here's another memorandum from 66. This is the advisory of the microscope and the wiretap coverage that we have afforded Martin Luther King Jr., president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. As you are aware, Dr. King has been in close association with individuals having Communist Party background. Since his rise to prominence in the civil rights field, among such individuals in his principal advisory is Stanley Livingston, a long-time secret communist whose membership in the Communist Party USA has been established as late as July 1963. Clarence Jones, another close advisor to King, was a former member in a position of leadership in the Labor Youth League, a Communist Front organization. Bayard Rustin, another of King's close advisors, was a member of a young communist league in the early 1940s and they admired homosexuals. But like I said, they wiretapped him for 55 all the way up to the 60s. They ain't find shit. It wasn't nothing to put up there. This man Livingston wasn't nothing but Martin Luther King homie. It was a partner. A nigga that'll give him a loan when he in jail or help him goddamn he fund a goddamn he a march or some shit. Check? Can I get a check on that? All right, Exhibit C. He said he was leading. They said he was leading us into a burning house. Go ahead. What say, brother?
I said check.
Okay. Exhibit C, right? He said he was leading us in. Yeah, they said the people said that, oh, fuck Dr. Martin Luther King. He led us into a burning house. Okay, MLK said to Harry Belafonte shortly before his assassination, I have came upon something that deeply disturbs me. I've come to believe we're integrating into a burning house. I'm afraid America may be losing what moral vision she had. That's what he said to Harry Belafonte. Okay, we got the parable right here. We got the parable of the burning house right here out the Lotus Sutra. The parable of the blazing house. This is chapter 3. The story of the house on fire is one of the most famous parables in the Lotus Sutra. It tells us of a wealthy man that returns from his travels to find that his large mansion is burning down while his children are still inside, seemingly oblivious to the situation they are in. He screams at them to come out, insisting they are in danger, but the children are too busy playing with their toys and refuse to come out. The man has no idea to get their attention, so they will come outside to safety. He tells them that he has some new toys outside that even better than the ones that they are playing with inside. The children are so tempted by this offer and excited to see the new toys that their father has for them that they finally come outside to safety. By stepping outside, they get away from the fire that's consuming the mansion. The wealthy man didn't, of course, have all the toys that he had promised his children as a way of tempting them outside. However, happy to see his children safe away from the blaze, he gives them the most splendid toy they have ever seen, far better than the ones he had promised them in the first. All right, Exhibit D. Reverend Dr. King was a goddamn Mason. Okay. Here we have Coretta and Dr. Martin Luther King III, I think. Okay, he say, as the event occurred over a decade ago, PGM Barksdale, which is the brother over here to the far left in the Mason Guard, cannot recollect the date of year, but remembers that he did not make Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Mason, neither at sight, post mostly. Dr. King is not a Mason. GM Barksdale, to the reference that GM Dr. Excel Neal stated at sight when he returned from Memphis. The above is true. In your wording, when GM Neal made the statement, which was in the presence of the Grand Lodge membership in Augusta, Georgia, said PGM Barksdale. Again, Dr. King was never a Prince Hall Mason. However, with the permission of Miss Coretta Scott King, I was given permission to name a Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. scholarship to assist the worthy young man to attend Morehouse College. This here is the source for that right there down at the bottom. Exhibit E, the Reverend Dr. King cheating allegations. Y'all ready for that? Y'all ready for that shit, ain't you? Y'all can't wait for to hear about that, boy. Dr. King fucking some hoes. Y'all believe that shit, but y'all believe, goddamn it, but y'all can't. When they said they landed on the moon, y'all, oh hell no. Oh, the motherfuckers ain't land on no goddamn moon. But Dr. King can fuck some hoes. Okay, let's keep it going. Okay.